Welcome to DeFi Crypto Today. Our topic today is Abracadabra Money and their new Degenbox. What's that about? Well, if we have to be on Ethereum for this. It's not yet available on the other networks, sadly. If we go in the borrow here and we go down, 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 we see this strange little icon there. And here it says UST. And I can tell you right now it's very popular. All the memes are gone already. So you'll have to wait until they replenish this in order to be able to take this strategy. But it's very popular already. I mean, this show opened just a few days ago. And already $20 million were deposited in there. So we're going to have a quick look at it. So if you saw any of my videos about time to be your own bank or Abracadabra, whatever, we talked a lot about how borrowing works on Abracadabra. The links are below in the description if you want to have a look. So I'm not going to explain too much about this. We're going to go very quickly because on the surface, everything looks the same. But there's that Degenbox here, okay? So that's under the hood. You don't need to do much here, okay? You need UST. UST is the stablecoin from the Terra ecosystem, the Terra network, okay? It's very popular. Daniele likes it a lot because it's also a decentralized stablecoin, much like wMEMO, okay, Magic Internet Money, and that's also decentralized. So these two are among the top decentralized stablecoins available. There's DAI, but DAI is semi-decentralized anyway. But these are fully decentralized, okay? So they're trying to do a collaboration between Terra and Abracadabra. And that's why they created this Degenbox, this mysterious Degenbox. Okay? Basically, it relates to the way it functions, okay, is that you deposit USTs here. USTs by default don't earn any income. We would need to deposit them somewhere for that to happen. Now, if we're on the Terra ecosystem, we go to Anchor Protocol. I'm putting the links below because I did a few videos about Anchor already. And when we deposit our USTs here, we earn a very generous 19.52%. And this rate has been very, very stable for the last 5-6 months. Okay, it's always been over 19.5%. So it's always around there. It's a very good rate, very low risk. This protocol has been audited. If you look at the dashboard, there's almost $6 billion invested here. Okay, so it's a very well trusted protocol, very solid. Okay, very low risk. Okay, so if you want to just use this as a savings account with a generous 19.5%, that's very good already, okay? But, knowing Daniele, we can do more, right? So basically, if you use the Degenbox and the Abracadabra lending and looping system that's available that we know already, we can take this and according to a guy that did the math on this, you'd get about 160% on your stable coins. Pretty insane. And that's why they call it the Degenbox. It's total degenerescence. All right, so they explain how it works in this article from Abracadabra Money on Medium. Their UST strategy, the first application of the magic potentialities of Degenbox. So it's a new technology. And, well, a word of caution, new technologies mean new risks, okay, inside the code. Okay, I don't know that they audited that Degenbox yet. So hackers might have fun looking at holes in there and trying to mess it up. So be careful. Don't put all your money on the Degenbox. Okay, but it looks very exciting. Okay, so I would think it's not safe, but it would be, instead of very low risk, I would put it at medium low risk. Personally, my own personal opinion. Okay, because the people at Abracadabra and in Daniele's teams are experienced people, most of them, and they probably didn't put a super duper amazing bugs in there, I'm hoping, but you never know. That's why I like audits. Okay, so don't trust this blindly. Okay, that's my word of caution. Okay, so they explain how this works here. We're gonna have a quick look so you get a taste for it. So on the Abracadabra protocol, every vault is called a cauldron. Okay, so users deposit the UST tokens in the cauldron in order to either borrow wMEMO or leverage a position. So we're familiar with this already. In the Time to Be Your Own Bank videos, number 1 and number 2, we explain how to deposit a collateral and borrow wMEMO against that in an uncollateralized position and in a collateralized position with the looping. If you're not familiar with these words, please watch those videos, okay? I don't want to re-explain all this here. It's thoroughly explained in the Time to Be Your Own Bank videos, okay? Please have a look. The links are below. So basically, you borrow wMEMO against your collateral. In this case, it's going to be UST for the Degenbox, okay? And with the looping, you can take your wMEMO, buy more UST, borrow more against that, and so on. So that each time that's called a loop, all right? So, and actually in the article, if you want to know how leverage works, you click here. They have an article explaining how it works as well. So I invite you to read all this. I'm just going to show you the highlights, the most important points. And if you want to know the details, you can read this yourself. Okay, so right now there's nothing spectacular. It basically just works like a normal vault on Abracadabra, right? You deposit an asset as collateral, you borrow against it. You could loop it and leverage it, okay, and buy more of the collateralized asset if you want. But okay, yeah, sure, cool. Nothing special yet. All right, so what's special? Well, the special is the Degenbox. So what happens? The Degenbox does an automatic bridging. You don't have to bridge manually. It's done for you. Okay? So what they do is that they take your UST, okay, and they bridge it back to the Terra blockchain on the shuttle bridge, it's called. 85% of the UST deposited by each user is bridged, while 15% stays on the Ethereum mainnet. Okay, so if you deposit $100, $85 are bridged over to the Terra ecosystem. $15 are staying here, all right? So this is to help withdrawals from the cauldron. So they don't want, in theory they could bridge everything over, but people want to withdraw at any time they want. So they're keeping 15%. They calculated that's probably good enough to take care of all the withdrawals on a given time, okay? And when those USTs are all withdrawn, well, they'll pull back more, they'll bridge back more USTs to fill that 15% that's missing now. Okay, so it's all done automatically. You don't need to worry too much about that part. So what are they doing with that 85% that they sent to the Terra ecosystem? Well, they're going to anchor this anchor, and they're going to deposit at 85% here. See the deposit button? Well, it's done automatically. You don't need to do it manually. And it's going to earn 19.52%. That's nice. So they do that for you automatically. All right. So that's what they're saying here. They're provided on the Anchor Protocol. Anchor is the leading platform. And basically, after you deposit your UST on Anchor, they give you back a receipt, which is another token called aUST. Okay, which is an interest-bearing version of UST. A little bit like the wMEMO that we talked about in Time to Be Your Own Bank several times. Okay, that's an interest-bearing token that we put on Abracadabra, and we can borrow against it, right? So that's what they're doing here. They're turning magically a regular plain old UST into an aUST so that it gathers interest for you. So now your deposit, which was not bearing interest, now bears interest. And it keeps on growing as time goes by because it keeps accumulating more and more interest, right? So they explain here more about the Anchor Protocol here if you want to know. So they bridge back the aUST tokens from Anchor to Terra, from Anchor on Terra back to the Ethereum mainnet, and they deposit them in the Degenbox. The tokens are producing a yield, and the yield is going to be harvested and distributed to all the users who deposited UST as collateral. So the Degenbox does that automatically for you. You've got a pretty picture explaining all that stuff. Okay, so 85% of the UST are sent to Anchor right here. And so you deposit the UST and you get out some aUST that are bridged back to the Degenbox here. Okay, the Degenbox is right here. And it harvests the interest and distributes that to the token holders that deposited there. Okay, so the Degenbox has successfully enhanced non-interest bearing tokens, the UST, to produce yield for the collateral deposited in the cauldron. Okay, now they explain how they harvest the rewards and distribute them. Once a week, we will be sending part of the aUST on Ethereum back to Terra in order to be withdrawn from Anchor Protocol in exchange for the UST produced by the strategy. Once this happens, the UST tokens are sent back to mainnet and distributed to users proportionally to the amount of collateral they have deposited in the cauldron. Simple as that, and now we are now producing a yield on the collateral deposited. So before, you only had assets that were either already yield producing, like the wMEMO, or non-yield producing, like AVAX, for instance. We saw those in the Time to Be Your Own Bank video. And now they can take a non-yield producing asset and magically turn it into a yield producing asset using the Degenbox right here. So they're doing that with UST coming from the Terra ecosystem. That's a very amazing innovation. Never happened before. Okay, no other protocol is doing that. That's why I'm talking about this here. It's a very exciting opportunity for those that can afford the gas fees on the Ethereum network. All right, so withdrawing from the cauldron, blah blah blah. Okay, so the amount withdrawable is limited. Once the limits approaches zero, new UST are bridged back from Terra and withdrawals are again available. So from time to time, you might not be able to withdraw right away. So that's another risk you need to be aware of before you play with the Degenbox. Okay, if you're in a hurry to take the money out, you may or may not be able to do so, because they only keep 15% right away on mainnet, on Ethereum mainnet, and they need to bridge over funds from Terra to Ethereum to supply enough tokens for people that want to withdraw. So if a ton of people decide to withdraw at the same time, that might be a problem. So be aware of that before you do it, okay? That's a risk, okay? Secondly, your collateral deposit will increase in quantity rather than in value. So you can read about the details of this stuff here, okay? All right, so that gives you an idea. Now, if you look at this tweet thread here from this guy, route to FI, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's that. He's on Twitter. Follow him. He's got a lot of fun stuff there. And he's very excited about that Degenbox. And he explains how you can earn up to 160% with it. It's not that complicated. Basically, we're already aware of the looping. So he's explaining the looping here, okay? So basically, he's telling us, okay, you've got UST, you get 19.5% on Anchor, blah, blah, blah. Abracadabra's Degenbox bridges the tokens around, okay? And now you can make more money because you can borrow up to 80% of the aUST, okay? So if you do one loop, you do 80% of your deposit. Second loop, 80% of whatever you deposited back, and then 80% of that, 80% of that, 80% of that. So at each loop, it's less and less and less and less and less. But total, you multiply your collateral assets that are earning interest for you. So you start at 19.5%, and this guy has done the math. I haven't done the math to verify, but let's trust him. And he calculated that you'd get 160% if you go up to 10 loops, let's say. Okay? So for those of you who are not familiar with the loops, please watch the Time to Be Your Own Bank videos. They're explained in great detail. Okay? I'm just showing you this new opportunity for people that are already familiar with Abracadabra and the borrowing and the looping. Okay, so for those that are not familiar, please watch the other videos. They explain everything in great detail. All right, so that's it for this video. I just wanted to show you this new opportunity that was available on Abracadabra. If you like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe. We want more people to view our videos. And when you hit like, the algorithm likes it too and sends more people to view our videos. Isn't that nice? All right, so hit the bell so that you know when I'm publishing a new video. Download the free book. It explains a lot of good strategies similar to this. It's free. The link is in the description. When you hit the link, you get to Linktree, and then you click the link to the book. You enter your name, your email, and then you get to a page that has a big fat button that says download the free book. Okay, if you miss that page, it's not the end of the world. Go to the Twitter, it's also on Linktree, and send me a DM with your email, and I'll email you the book if you didn't get it, because you didn't see the big fat button that says download the free book. And if you don't like free books, go on Amazon, give $5.99 to Jeff Bezos. He's trying to become a trillionaire. Help him out. And he's going to give me a $1 later. See you.